Hi, I'm going to take you from start to finish on how to work on selling a product and going through an email series and then excluding people who have bought your product so they're not continuing to get sales emails. I'm using a test page to set up a form. And then I'm using one of the products from a client, Primary Bliss Teaching. And if they're watching this, they can come in and change up the tags at any time. So first thing you're going to do is go ahead and I create a form. And so this is Citizenship Social Studies Unit form. So I clicked create a new form in ConvertKit, a form, inline. And for this purposes, testing purposes, I'm just choosing one. If you're connecting the ConvertKit form to another form provider, perhaps you're using Thrive or Bloom or something like that, then you don't even have to worry about how this looks, because all it does is it just transfers it from the pretty form you made to this form. I'm going to be using this form, but I'm not going to format it because it's just a test. So for this purposes, I'm going to go ahead and just leave that as is. I'm going to take off the incentive email, which means they'll be auto-confirmed, which is fine. Pretty much leave that as. So I'm going to go ahead and name this Social Studies Citizenship Opt-in. So maybe she has a free product that she's given away for them to opt in. So however they're opting in, this is the form that we're going to use. So I'm going to click save. And in my case, I'm just going to embed it real quick. We'll embed it with HTML. So I've got my test page. Now if I go to view page, now I have this page password protected because it's just a test page for testing purposes. So now here's my test page and I have my form. Now, yeah, it's not pretty, but this is just a test. So however your form or your opt-in page is, you get that set up the way that you want to set it up. I just wanted to show you I've got my ConvertKit form. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go over to ConvertKit and I'm going to create a new tag. So I'm going to come down here and click create a tag. My tag name is going to be purchased. I'm going to grab the title. There you go. So I have my tag here, and then I'm going to create one more tag. Let's do opt-in, and they opted in for that citizenship social studies, and that's what I'm going to call it. And that just kind of matches my form. And I'll show you two ways that you could do this. You don't have to create the tag. I just find it easier to have the tag. So I have my two new tags that I've created. I have my opt-in tag. That means these are the people that have opted in. And then I have my purchased tag. Next thing I'm going to do is create a couple rules. To do that, you'll be under automations. Then you're going to go to rules. I'm going to click add rule. And in this case, when my users subscribe to my form, and my new form is Social Studies Citizenship Opt-in, then I'm now going to tag them with that opt-in tag. I just find it easier to work with tags. You can technically start things just from the form. I just find it easier to work with tags. Click Save Rule. Last step before you can start testing is make sure you come in here and that you add your new tag. If your tag does not appear, you can try just clicking Update on the product, and sometimes that'll reset and pull in the new tags. And see, there you go. So now if someone purchased this, they're going to get tagged purchased. So I'm going to click update, and then I'm going to check out with this product. I have a test coupon code that I'll use. I'll show you when I'm done purchasing it at the end. All right, next thing I'm going to do is make a new automation. And just so I remember to delete this, I'm going to write delete social studies test. Create automation. We're going to do is added to a tag. So this is if they're added to that tag, opt-in. And then one of the first things that I do is I go ahead and do a condition. Do they have that tag purchased? And the reason why I do this is I could actually create a little sequence for the people that already have it. So let's do a quick fake sequence for the people who already have it. So this is delete purchase citizen. And then after they do that sequence, I want them just to exit the automation. So now I have it is if they come in and they have already purchased it, then they're going to get this email series. And I'm just going to do just for opt-in. I don't even have to do any special filters. I am going to change this so I can test it to any day. So I'm going to go to settings, and this is under sequence settings. I'm going to update that sequence. And to get it to apply, you kind of have to go out of it and back in. So I'm going to send this one immediately. I'm going to click save. All right, so that's set up. They don't have it, so I might want to add a tag that they're in the sequence. This part is totally optional. You could have they're in the sequence tag, and then at the end I go ahead and add it. They would be out of the sequence. So they were in the sequence and then something will happen and then they're out of the sequence. That part's optional. So we'll leave that for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and do another email sequence, and this time I'm going to do for sales. You can call it whatever you want. All right, now we're going to adjust this email. And let's say we have, I don't even know, 4 emails you want to send. Sales 1. All right, so I'm here with my 4 emails, and I'm going to go ahead and just set this so that for testing purposes, we're going to do immediately. We'll do 1 hour, 1 hour, and 1 hour. There are 2 ways that you can exclude subscribers who have bought. You can go here to filter, exclude subscribers from this email, subscribe to the tag, purchased. And you kind of have to read it out loud because it can be confusing. So this one says, I'm excluding subscribers from this email that have purchased this item. So that's one way to do it. You can filter per email. You can actually go into settings and set it for all of them, but I'm going to show you later why that does not work. So for now, I'm not even going to show you, but in theory, just so that you know for the future, you can go into settings and exclude for an entire sequence by tag, but there's a little ConvertKit bug, which I'll talk to you about later. So for now, go through each email and go ahead and add that filter where they're excluded if they match the purchase tag. This way, when someone purchases, even if they've already got 2 sales emails, the 3rd and the 4th email will not run. There we go. So everything is filtered. So I'm going to click save on that. And at the end, and again, this is optional. You can just have that be the end of the automation, but I might go do one other thing. So after they've gone through all the sales emails, do they have that tag? Have they purchased it? If they have not purchased, you could do something else. You could even add a tag, like I might add went through opt-in, no purchase, social studies. If they did purchase it, then maybe you want to send them an email sequence that just says, thanks for purchasing. Send that immediately. We'll go ahead and we'll do the sequence settings to any day. And I'm not going to worry about excluding or including anybody because I've kind of already done that in the visual automation. Oh, make sure it's published. That's one of the things that I've found is sometimes my emails aren't sending because they're still in draft state. If I come in at the top and someone's already purchased this, then they're going to get this little sequence that they've already purchased it. Maybe you just want to address that. You could just have them go straight to exit the automation. If not, you're going to tag them that they're in sequence. They're going to go through the cell sequence. You're going to tag them that they're going to remove the tag that they're in sequence. Check to see if they've purchased. If they've purchased, send them a thank you email. If they haven't purchased, just tag them that they went through the sales pitch, but they did not buy. So now for testing purposes, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And I'm going to use 3 different emails to test this. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to check out with a buy email. And I have a special coupon code that I can use to just test. So I've checked out. I have already bought this item. And this email address should now be under subscribers. And you'll see that this email address is now in the system and is already tagged with purchased. So next step is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to opt in with this email. So let's say that this was a freebie that they wanted to download. What I would actually do if this was a freebie, then I would have it redirect to the freebie. So they get the freebie no matter whether they're already on your list or not. And then it'll tag them on the back end to start it. So I'm going to subscribe with 2 other emails. So this one is, and in fact, I'm going to call it never buy. This person is never going to buy, and this person is going to buy during the sequence. Now I'll go pull up each of these subscribers. So each one of these subscribers now has the opt-in, and you'll see that there's no email sent yet. It takes between 10 and 15 minutes for everything to start running. So it's not truly instant. It takes a few minutes. So I'll come back and update after a little while and show you what has been going on. So here's my 3 subscribers. My already bought person was tagged with the opt-in, but they had already purchased, so they got my email purchased before opt-in. My person who never bought, they went through all 4 sales emails. They were tagged at the end with they went through the opt-in, but they didn't purchase. And then my person who bought, they got the first sales email, then they bought, so they were tagged, and then you'll see they got the thanks for purchasing during my sequence. Obviously, I wouldn't call it these. And if you look at my visual automation, 3 subscribers came in, 3 subscribers were checked for the tag, 1 had the tag and exited the automation. 2 were tagged with in sequence, 2 went through the email opt-ins, 2 were untagged with in sequence. They were checked for the purchase tag, 1 had purchased, so they got the thank you email, 1 had not purchased, so they were tagged that they did not purchase. And that is how I would set up an email sequence. I'm going to show you one more thing about what not to do because I made this mistake and took a while to troubleshoot. So you can stop here when you're working on your sales automation, but I just wanted to show you what not to do in case you saw this option and thought, oh, that's a good idea, like I did. Don't do it. Hey, I just wanted to give one extra piece of information because you can go into settings, under sequence settings, and you can set the whole sequence to exclude subscribers. The problem is ConvertKit, which drives me nuts. You'll see that I have our tag excluded, the purchased, is that ConvertKit freezes those people. Like they're still just waiting to get an email. So I've sent all 3 of my people through the sequence, and this is what happened. Already bought it, did great. They went straight through, and you'll see that you have 3 subscribers here. 1 got tagged yes, and they did exactly as they're supposed to do. That person, that worked great. And then never buys, they got all 4 sales emails. They've gone straight through. 2 subscribers over here, 1 subscriber, 1 subscriber, 1 subscriber. 1 subscriber. The problem is that my subscriber who bought during the sequence is still stuck in the sequence. So you'll see they got sales 1, then they bought, but they're still in sequence, and it's been a couple days now. So instead, you just have to make sure that you limit your emails by individual email filter. So you're gonna have to go in here and do exclude subscribers from this email that have the tag purchased. So I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna tag all these real quick. So those are tagged correctly. I'm gonna click save all. I'm gonna go back in and go to settings, and we're gonna remove the settings for the entire sequence. So notice that I have to make sure that I do it by individual email. Save all. Now that I've fixed that, you'll see that my buys during the sequence got my thanks for purchasing during my sequence email.